Okay, honey, I'm starting. When I first came to town, they called me the roving Jew. Now they've changed their tune, they call me Katie Crew. Through the woods I go, through the swamp and mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. If I was where I would be, I'd be where I am not. Here I am where I must be, where I would be, I cannot. When I first came to town, they bought me drinks aplenty. Now they've changed their tune, they bring me the bottle empty. If I was where I would be, I'd be where I am not. Here I am where I must be, where I would be, I cannot. When I first came to town, they called me the roving Jew. Now they've changed their tune, they call me Katie Crew. Through the woods I go, through the swamp and the mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. If I was where I would be, I'd be where I am not. Here I am where I must be, where I would be, I cannot. Through the woods I go, through the swamp and mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon, cold as shit outside here in Brooklyn. And I'm Bert Lee, and I'm going to give you as much music as I can get before my computer overheats. We've been getting half an hour, 45 minutes, so I'm just going to not talk a lot and cut to the chase so you can optimize your music. I see I do have some listeners. If you have access to chat, say hi just so I know who I'm playing for. That's always very nice. This next tune is an original tune. I'm doing only traditional and original tunes because I've been told by YouTube that I cannot monetize if I do any covers. So originals and traditionals. I got a lot of that, so we're fine, and I hope you enjoy what you're about to hear. This is a tune called Salt for Silver. from my album of the same name, which you can get at Bandcamp. I'll give you salt for silver if you'll only make the trade. This poetry, these melodies are things that I have made. I've woven them from songs I've heard, from stories I've been told. I'll give you salt for silver unless you offer gold. Gonna build a big machine, a mechanical collage. Gonna build it in the workshop in the back of my garage. It's gonna be a wild contraption made of cogs and wheels and gears and discarded bits of everything I've gathered through the years. And when it gets to rolling, it's gonna make an awesome sound, like thunder in the mountains or an earthquake underground. When I'm done, they're gonna ask me, Bob, just what does that thing do? And I will turn around and ask them, man, well, what's it do for you? Gonna write a crazy song, not sure what it's gonna mean. Might be plain, might be a puzzle, might be something in between. Gonna populate the verses with people from my dreams. It might point to something deep, or maybe just be what it seems. Oh, but when I get to singing it, it's gonna make an awful noise, and I really can't be bothered by the folks my voice annoys. When I'm done, they're gonna beg me, please explain that thing to me, and I will turn around and tell them, man, it's nothing you can't see. Do I really have to tell you that is just the way I roll? I'm just a simple farm boy with a complicated soul, who set out first to follow in Woody Guthrie's tracks, to sing about the common man and the burdens on their backs. I'm writing an epic novel, a mountain range of prose. It might turn the tide of history or turn all my friends to foes. It's gonna be a wild concoction made of thoughts and words and prayers, though there might be nothing underneath if you peel away the layers. Oh, if I fail in that ambition, I'm gonna put away my pen, put on ordinary clothing, go and walk the world of men. Gonna look in all their faces at the stories in their eyes, in the hopes that all the misery I see there makes me wise. Do I really have to tell you that is just the way I roll? Just a simple farm boy with a complicated soul, who set out first to follow in Woody Guthrie's tracks, to sing about the common man and the burdens on their backs, who got waylaid in the city by the beatniks and the clowns, and the grief that always comes to you from mixing ups and downs, who tried his hand at Jesus and then suffered a relapse and had to rebuild his ideas from all these bits and scraps. I'll give you salt for silver if you'll only make the trade. This poetry, these melodies are things that I have made. I've borrowed them from songs I've heard, from stories I've been told. I'll give you salt for silver unless you offer gold. Hi, Harvey. Got my wonderful wife, who's my stage manager here listening in, Harvey Bojarski, who's the indispensable friend who's always there listening to my songs. Soon come, we play live in front of people. Soon come, I do hope. Meanwhile, we've got this, and I do hope you enjoy it. That was a bunch of banjo-style picking on my guitar. Hope you enjoyed that. This is a different kind of vibe. First song I ever wrote that was any good, I think. By His Majesty's decree, the people are invited to a celebration on the palace lawn. If you come just after 3, the food and drink will be provided. If you don't go, you will wish that you had gone. For the princess is engaged to a 6-day tandem racer, the faster man on wheels there's never been. Oh, the wedding date is reckoned at July the 22nd. When he arrives, the celebration will begin. Now the king was very glad that his daughter finally had a husband trapped to occupy her days. She rarely did a thing but to sit and weep and sing, and to wander through the palace garden maze. When the tandem racer's name was Baron Basil Werner, possessor of a world-famed racing cup, he spins his silver pedals and he polishes his medals, and you couldn't count the brides that he stood up. On July the 21st, the royal wedding was rehearsed, and everyone, except the groom, was there. They tried hard not to worry, they were sure that he would hurry and arrive with lots of time to spare. But from Luxembourg the tandem racer sent a cablegram. He'd raced against the clock and he had lost, and his wheels spin round and they make a whirring sound, and you couldn't count the countries that he'd crossed. Well, they held the wedding anyway, though it started in to rain, and the princess emptied water from her shoe. It rained all day and the baron never came, and the people all found better things to do. There you go. I was 17 or 18 when I wrote that song, which seems like centuries ago. Here's a tune I wrote when I turned 50. That's right, musicians actually do age and get older. And we're lucky if that's what happens to us, and there you go. I was 50 years old. I was living in Kingsbridge. I was unable to sleep. It was a cold winter night, but it was very hot in my apartment, and I was by a window, and looking out the window I saw the moon looking through the window at me, and I was reminded of a night when I was 10 years old on my 10th birthday, when I was taking a bus ride from Dallas to Oklahoma City, and I looked out the window and I saw the moon, and it was following the bus. And that inspired this song. You're a bus driver bound from the lights of the city, through the quiet of little towns lost in the night. Exits and off-ramps, neon-lit diners, and the bright eyes of rabbits like stars on the roadside. The radio reminds you of all that's behind you. Your poor eyes are dazzled by the oncoming lights. The white line goes through you, and you don't know now, do you, why the good folks won't turn down their brights. Through the long night the dark traffic sighs. What color are the bus driver's eyes? Puzzles and riddles and cats that play fiddles, and children that change in the rays of the moon. The little dog laughed just to see such a sight, and the dish ran away with the media tycoon. Are we almost there yet? And why is the rain wet? And who spilled the stars on the velvety deeps? Digressions and questions and liars' confessions. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. So many what-ifs and whys. What do you see when you shut down your eyes? There once was a maiden who escaped from her bower by cutting off all of her beautiful hair. Weaving a ladder she climbed from the tower and ran off and left not a note on a chair. There was an old farmer who traded his best cow for a hand-scribbled map and an old rusty key. The little dog wept just to hear such a tale. The tears that he offered would fill up the sea. Through the long night the dark traffic rolls, and the night driver ferries our souls. Are we almost there yet? And why is the rain wet? And who spilled the stars on the velvety deeps? Look up out your window and watch the moon follow. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. Now be a good fellow, go and waltz with the widow. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. Little Finnegan who can't get to sleep. A sad tale. This is a tune by my dear friend Lenny Molotov. It's about one thing or another, but it's got something in it that we can all appreciate right now. The title of the song is Glorious, and what we can all appreciate is the last light of the song. So here you go. This goes out to you, Lenny, wherever you are in this world, teaching people to play guitar and appreciate music, which is what you do. A good thing to do. Took your notes, love letters, and birthday cards. I built a little house, then the wind blew hard. Gee, but it's tough losing your best friend. Guess my honey's never coming back again. Glorious sunshine, glorious rain, glorious joy, glorious pain. Glorious old King's Road, come to an end, glorious new coronation. When I fell asleep as a little boy, I woke up just dreaming of my toy. When I woke up from you and me, round my neck was a golden key. Glorious evening, glorious morn, glorious peacetime after the war. Glorious old King's Road, come to an end, glorious new coronation. Well, I fell asleep in a room so small. When I woke up, it was a mighty hall. Through the colored glass, felt the sun's warm rays. She leaned over and kissed my face. Glorious sweetness, once so sour, glorious meekness, a coming to power. Glorious old King's Road, come to an end, glorious new coronation. Glorious old King's Road, come to an end, glorious new coronation. Lenny Molotov song there for you. There you go. Please excuse the noisy outside world. Somebody's revving a truck. It's a tune of mine called Dead Man's Coat. Excuse me just a moment. Honey, is that truck sound really overwhelming?
I can't hear it.
Oh, good. It seems that I have managed to filter out that truck sound. Glad to hear it. So, Dead Man's Coat. Left my shoes in Dublin. I borrowed a dead man's coat. I left it all behind me and I stowed onto a boat. Left it all behind me to be swallowed up by time. If they ever come and find me, may they pardon me my crime. They say I killed my father, but I only stole his name. He was murdered by a bottle, but I'll gladly share the blame. Murdered by a bottle, and maybe death has set him free. Now if I could only lose his ghost that hides inside of me. His ghost is in my mirror. His ghost is in my mind. It's living underneath my skin, and it won't be left behind. I tried my best to kill it, but the damn thing never dies. It stands so hard above me with whiskey in its eyes. Here is my confession, for whatever it is worth. I'm haunted by my father, just like every man on earth. Haunted by my father, like every ordinary Jake. He hangs so dark above me, like a storm about to break. I'm sailing to America just to find what might be found. I'll throw these memories overboard and I pray that they stay drowned. Throw this baggage overboard to be swallowed by the sea. Now if I could only lose this ghost that stowed away in me. Left my shoes in Dublin and I borrowed a dead man's coat. I left it all behind me and I stowed onto a boat. I left it all behind me to be swallowed up by time. If they ever come and find me, may they pardon me my crime. That was Dead Man's Coat, and checking the temperature of my computer. I seem to be doing good. I got as much as 45 minutes out of it yesterday, so with any luck, I'll be able to keep going for a while. Maybe gather a little bit more audience here. I do appreciate who I have. Always love to see some fresh faces out there, so if you know somebody and you feel like recommending my music to them, give it a shot. I know it's hard to convince people to listen to something that the official world didn't tell them was good, but damn, I'm good. So let's get the word out there. And this is a song about multiculturalism. Well, I've just come down to tell you about some music that I've heard. It's the band that plays on weekends down at Eddie's Crossroads Bar. They live out behind the diner in a bus that's up on blocks. If they ever get it rolling, I believe that they'll go far. Now their leader's Alexander with his double neck guitar, who comes from Spain by way of San Francisco. His girlfriend is Elena from the hills of Bogota. When he met her, she was dancing in a disco. And the name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Oh, their drummer is Matsui, he's a Japanese Hawaiian. He grew up playing country blues in Memphis, Tennessee. He dropped his one right on the bar and then he kicks the 2 and 4. And sometimes you can find him with a banjo on his knee. And there's Jazzy Jan from Amsterdam, who fills in all the leads on the saxophone, sitar, and balalaika. And Brooklyn Bob's the sound man, he's the master of the mix. He could put a shine on 1956 Formica. Now these are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Oh, now Eddie tries to manage them, but he doesn't have a clue about the market niche where he should try to sell them. When the business people ask him about the bag they occupy, he doesn't have a notion what to tell them. There's a taste of gypsy zydeco and a hint of western swing, some polka, blues, and psychedelic soul. Throw in some mariachi and a lick of folky funk, and your mama and your papa's a rock and roll. It's a crazy quilt pattern, kaleidoscope, rainbow design on the flag they unfurl. And the name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. They've got lyrics like the Beatles, they've got lyrics like the Dead, they've got lyrics like the Kingsmen where you're not sure what they said. Oh, but when they start to harmonize, all the angels shut their mouth. It's all about the unity of North, East, West, and South. Now these are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. It's a crazy quilt pattern, kaleidoscope, rainbow design on the flag they unfurl. And the name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. That's the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl, which can be found on my album called The Pop Cycle, which you can find at my music website. There it is. https://bertlee.bandcamp.com, bertlee.bandcamp.com, where you can listen to my music for free, and if you feel like downloading it, you get a high quality version of it. And the nice thing about that is that I actually get the lion's share of the proceeds, unlike such scams as Spotify and all that nonsense. Everyone's hoping to make 1 million hits, and you got to buy it. You got to buy robots to hit your site. But enough of that. Here and there, things about This is a pretty song. I wrote this about 3 years ago. A gust of wind has come to call, that turns a summer's day to fall, sends hats and papers tumbling down the lane. The pigeons that parade the square all leap as one into the air, taking shelter in the eaves against the rain. The songbirds quit their flight and hush their song, waiting for the rain. It won't be long, for reasons only feelings can explain. You can always tell when it's about to rain. The children have all run inside, the lovers in the park decide they won't be bothered by a drop or two. Slowly strolling lost in love, they take no heed of clouds above. It's just a little rain, don't be blue. Just a little rain, you know it's true. Won't last forever, darling, don't be blue. For reasons only feelings can explain. You can always tell when it's about to rain. And I may not know all the reasons why, but I can always tell when you're about to cry. I see you at the window now, and I can feel you wonder how the wind has blown so many things away. And if it helps to ease the pain, we'll go out walking in the rain, remembering another sweeter day. When we were young and love was new, oh, it's just a little rain, don't be blue. Blue is just a feeling, let it come and let it go. I know it hurts a little, darling, let it go. Why is just a question with no answer, maybe so. Don't let it bother, darling. It's about to rain. Temperature's climbing in my computer. Looks like I'm getting a little more than a half an hour of music in before I have to fold. Haven't had a huge audience, but there are people that I deeply love, so thank you. And I'll do a couple of more songs, and hopefully I'll be able to get a couple more out before I go yellow lining, red lining, and I'm never going to let my computer burn out for this. Hopefully I can get this thing fixed sometime soon. I've been told I can punch holes in the back of my computer, and that will aerate the darn thing. What can you say about that? Blackbird sitting on a fence post, laughing like he knows some kind of joke. Sometimes I feel like I forgot the lyrics. Blackbird sitting on the fence post, laughing like he knows some kind of joke. I fail to see what's so funny. My whole world just went up in smoke. Won't you let me in on the joke? Scarecrow dancing in a cornfield, dancing while the wind blows him around. Sometimes I feel like that scarecrow, watching over my dry patch of ground, while the wind just blows me around. There's a strange kind of music in the branches of the trees, like a song on a broken guitar. And those crows on a fence don't make any more sense than some crazy fool in a bar who sing a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz. Blackbird flies over to the scarecrow. It doesn't scare him a bit, just sits on his shoulder to mock him, and then laughs at his own senseless wit. That scarecrow doesn't scare him a bit. There's a strange melody that hangs in the breeze, like a calliope that's gone out of tune. And those crows sing a song that's all busted and wrong by the cold light of the old crooked moon. They sing a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz. And with that, my CPU has gone yellow line, which means that I want it to go red and I have to shut down. Sorry for the short shows. Hopefully I'll get this fixed soon and I'll go up to my usual hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours for my beloved friends who come and listen to me. It's all a matter of timing. I have a lot of work I have to do on this computer, so I can't really afford to send it immediately off to the shop, but I can't afford to let it blow out either. So conundrums, but it's okay. Life is good. Be kind to each other. Wash your little mitts. Clean behind your ears. That's where the COVID hides. Love one another. Love yourselves. Take care. Be kind to your web-footed friends. And that, dear friends, is the end of my live show.